Good morning, everybody, on this chilly, sunny Monday morning, the 17th of May, 2021. Slightly different location. I usually record in the kitchen, but our kitchen is right below our bedroom, and it's a little bit too early, so I didn't want to disturb Mary this morning, let her have a little bit of a rest. So I moved back into the sitting room. Not as easy, kind of a little more awkward here, but sure. Anyway, I put a topic on this for today. I call this little devotional salty speech. And when we think about the words salty speech, what do we tend to think about? I think of salty speech. My first thought is kind of rough, sailor-like. Not really coarse or cursing, but yeah, a little bit salty. And if anybody saw the little mistake I made when I was trying to get on here, I hit the wrong button, and it lasted about 10 seconds. And I used the word, I got frustrated. I said, oh, crikey. Because it was not going the way I wanted to do. Don't think that's quite salty, but you get my point. Anyway, what is salty speech? Colossians 3:6 says this beautiful, beautiful word warning about our words. What are our words like? Colossians 3:6 says this. Verse 5 says, walk in wisdom towards those who are outside, redeeming the time. Then he says, let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt, that we may know how we should answer each one. We as Christians are going to be judged by our speech, and that's probably a good thing, because our words are supposed to reflect Christ. Our speech is always with grace. We need to strive for good, graceful speech, not arrogant, not hateful, not deceitful, not revengeful, but grace. In that season with salt, the picture there is that we while our speech is to be with grace, it's also to be seasoned, just that little bit of seasoning to make it more appealing to those around us. Too much salt, of course, is deadly, toxic. But that little bit of salt we use just to season things and make them just right. We need to be careful that the words we speak, things we say, whether we say them with our mouths or whether we say them on Facebook, are graceful words, and that we season them with salt. And we may be able to know how to answer each other. Sometimes people make us angry. Isn't that the truth? Sometimes we hear something or we're in a discussion and somebody says something that we think is the most ignorant thing that's ever been said on the face of the earth. We find it insulting, and we find it harsh, and we find it mean. And we lash out and say the wrong things. Unfortunately, sometimes it's our spouses who suffer the most from this, because they're closest to us. And we can say things that we didn't intend, or they can say things that they didn't intend, and we take it wrong, and the first thing out of our mouth is something we usually regret right away. Beginning in the home, let's make sure that our speech is always with grace, seasoned with just that little bit of salt that enhances the flavor of the words we speak. As we go out into our workplaces today, as we do our volunteer work, as we go to church, as we spend time with others, as we go on our walks, and let's be sure that our speech is always graceful speech with just that pinch of salt that makes our speech appealing. And if we do that, God will allow us to know how to answer each other without causing more problems or hatred or division. Challenge for today. Let's be sure that our grace, our speech today, and let's ask God before we begin the day to make our speech be always with grace, seasoned with that pinch of salt that makes our speech appealing and sets us apart from the rest of the world. Have a great week. Back to church yesterday was a blessing. It was good to be back and see folks, and had some special blessings there yesterday, and Bible study last night, and heading into this new week, and with anticipation about what God's going to do in our lives this week. But as I do that, we need to make sure, you need to make sure that our speech is graceful speech, seasoned with just that pinch of salt, that we know how to answer every situation we come across. God bless you, folks.